Hello, my beautiful friends. My name is Carrie Cox, and welcome to my channel where we learn how to use our personal power to build a connection between our mind, our body, and our spirit. In today's video, we're going to talk about the importance of meditation, why now is more important than any other time to start learning to meditate, and a technique that I use that will help if you have a hard time sitting still. If you've tried to meditate and felt like it was just too hard, I have a perfect way for you to start learning how, and all you need is a candle. If this is your first time here, please hit the bell notification button so you can be notified when future videos drop, and hit the like button as that helps me out as well. Thank you, and let's get into it. So meditation helps us to awaken our internal powers. Out of everything since that I started working on my own self-healing journey, this is probably the hardest thing for me to do out of everything that's recommended. And it's probably one of the most important things that we all need to do. We're in a world where our mind and our nervous system, our body, everything is being overstimulated in this world today. And so not only is our brain processing through a whole lot of information that it's collecting, but we are living with too much extra buzzing energy around us. So it's leading a lot of people to have issues with anxiety, with a lot of mind chatter, and it makes it hard for people to make decisions. And so there's a lot of things that meditation can help us with. And one of the biggest things that meditation helps with is it helps to reduce stress. We all know that stress is probably the number one reason why disease even exists. Stress will throw the entire balance of the body off. And so meditation will help us to calm the body, to calm the energy in the body, to align ourselves with our inner self, and help the body get out of fight or flight, help the body release fears, any stagnant energy, any anxious energy. And if all of those things are in alignment, it will have an effect on how much inflammation we have in our body. I do believe that inflammation right there with stress is the primary cause of most disease. And so if we can eliminate stress, which causes the inflammation in the body, then we can reduce our likelihood of dealing with diseases and illnesses. It will help us keep our immune system higher, and we'll start co-creating more of the life we want to live. So I believe that we co-create our own life. If we have a choice, we can choose to follow a life where we work on ourselves, where we follow self-care principles, and where we create happiness for ourselves. There's no reason to feel struggle if you have the right tools and you work on making a better life for yourself. So meditation, very important way to do that. Meditation is going to help us to hear our intuitive voice more. So we have a lot of false things that go on in this world. So not only within us, we have a false voice called our ego. We also have a fault, and that leads us to listening to our false self more than our more authentic self. And it is our intuitive voice that's going to help us to make better decisions that are right and wrong for ourselves. But if we can't hear that because we have so much mind chatter and so much anxious energy around us, then we're not going to be making decisions from that more authentic place within us. So meditation is going to help us find that voice and hear that voice. So some of the benefits of meditation, besides decreasing stress, could look like finding inner peace. A lot of people don't feel peace within themselves. They're kind of searching or seeking something, like a feeling, and that feeling could be found within meditation. It's going to help us have less anxiety, less risk of feeling depressed. It's going to increase our memory. So if we have some memory issues and we have a hard time concentrating, meditating will teach us the ability to focus and concentrate. It can also help you find the present moment. So if you're not new to spiritual teachings or just self-help teachings, finding the present moment is where you let go of the past or the future, which creates anxiety and depression to begin with. So we really want to try to stay in the present moment, and meditation could help you get into that present moment. You forget about the past and the future, and you just focus on what is right now. So this candle technique that I'm going to show you could be used for just a matter of minutes. If you just need a couple minutes to bring yourself into the present moment and to become more aware, or you can use it for a full-on, however long meditation you want to sit and do. So it could be a quick thing, or it could be a very long session. Meditation is also going to enhance the ability to have more patience, more willpower, and more clarity, and help with things like insomnia. So if we suffer from a lot of headaches or migraines, nightmares, or sleep disturbances or issues, meditating before you go to bed could be a huge help. It's free to do. It is not harming your body or putting toxins in your body. So it's a great thing to start doing before going to bed if you have a hard time falling asleep. And instead of reaching for that sleep aid, try going into meditation before you go to sleep. It will help calm down the mind so that you can focus on going to sleep. The method I'm going to show you today is using a candle to focus on while meditating. So when I started to try to meditate, I found it very hard. It was hard for me to concentrate on just sitting quietly. I felt more comfortable laying down, but when I laid down, I found that I fell asleep during it, and then I didn't remember anything about it. And when I sat up, I was just uncomfortable, and my mind was thinking of 1,000 things, and it just seemed like there was like a little voice in my head saying, oh, go look at your phone, go check out social media, or go play that game on your phone, or go watch TV. It was like finding excuses because it was uncomfortable to sit in silence. And so when I found this candle method, it was easier for me to, even if I just did it for 5 minutes, it was easier for me to spend that 5 minutes staring at a candle flame than it was to just sit with my eyes closed. Because if I was focusing on the candle, then my mind wasn't going all over the place. What I used to teach people was start with focusing on your breath and doing some kind of breath work, because that's going to help you. When you're focusing on your breathing, then you're not listening to the mind chatter, and you're not feeling as uncomfortable because you're so focused on counting the breaths. But I find that this candle method is even easier for me than the breathing technique. The breathing technique is awesome for bringing me back down into my body. So when I'm not feeling very grounded and I feel very spacey and airy, the focusing on my breath is very helpful for bringing me back down into my body. But the candle method is great for me to be able to just focus and concentrate on that flame. The glow of a candle can be very peaceful, very relaxing. That's why this method works really well before you go to sleep at night. Fire can be very hypnotic, and it could draw us into a trance-like state. So if you're new to this, I would say, just try it for 5 or 10 minutes, however long you can handle sitting, and just keep doing that every single day. It takes 21 days to build a new habit, so just make a goal for the new year to start meditating every day, and start with 5 or 10 minutes, and then just slowly increase that the more and more you do it, and the easier it becomes. It's like anything we try new. Anything that you try new that is hard at first becomes easier with time. The more and more you do it, the more and more you practice, the easier it becomes. Meditation is the same way. Our ego is that voice that's going to try to tell us to stop doing this. This is uncomfortable. This doesn't feel good. This is, we could be looking at our phone, or we could be doing something else with our time. So our ego voice is going to try to distract us in the beginning until we learn how to calm that voice down. That's a given. So expect that to happen. Some of the benefits from using a candle in your meditation, besides really teaching you how to focus and how to concentrate, is that it could strengthen your eyes. If you have a nearsightedness, you may find over time that your nearsightedness actually starts to get better. You could, if you're into using different colors that have different meanings behind them, or different scents, like candle scents, to find alignment with certain things that may be imbalanced in your body, you can definitely choose candles of different colors or smells depending on what your intention is and what you're trying to align in your body. You don't have to do that. You could just use a regular old candle to do that. My candle actually looks like this. I use this color indigo for helping me with third eye, because that is my intention, is trying to develop better seeing in my third eye. So I did choose a candle that was intentionally indigo in color. Have it on actually a china plate that was my grandmother's plate, and so I just bring a little bit of ancestry to the room while I meditate. So there's an intention behind that as well. But you could just use any old candle. I mean, I have candles all over my house because I burn them. And so, I mean, it could be anything as long as you could see the flame and stare at the flame. You want to have your candle at eye level. You want to be looking straight at the flame. You don't want to have your head tilted up or down, especially if you're doing this for long periods of time. We don't want to put any strain or tension in our neck. We want to make sure we're sitting up, our shoulders are back, and we're in good alignment. This is not a meditation that's used for laying down, so you definitely want to be sitting up, either in a chair or cross-legged on the floor. And you want to make sure you have the lights turned down low. And it could just very well be as simple as staring at the candle and clearing your mind. That is how simple you can make this. You can set different intentions. You can find your own way and what makes you comfortable, but it could be as simple as light the candle and sit and stare at it. Just make sure you're sitting up straight. The room is, dim. You could also just stare at the center of the flame, find that dark, shadowy part of the flame, and just get lost in it. Allow your gaze to just get lost into the candle. You want to make sure that you are just focused on that flame. What will start to happen is your peripheral vision may start to close in. You may forget and not see your surroundings around you because you're so focused on the flame. Now, if you break concentration and your eyes start to wander about, what will happen is when your eyes move, it will send whatever information to your brain that you start sensing. That sensory input to your brain will start sending messages. And so you may find yourself breaking concentration, then you see the room again and you come out of that gaze. Just go right back into it. Don't get frustrated. Don't allow your mind to think things through. Just go right back into it and find that gaze again. In the very beginning, you might be going in and out of this deep gaze or this deep trance-like state. That's fine, as long as you bring yourself back in. You're going to break concentration until it's practiced, and that is completely fine and completely probably going to happen. The more and more you do this, the more and more you're opening your consciousness, the more you're expanding your mind. So that is going to, as things heal and things open up and unblock, that is going to cause things that feel a little uncomfortable. And so for the moment, we may find ourselves in an uncomfortable place and, unintentionally break that concentration because we start to feel some discomfort, and then we just go right back into it. And the more and more we build this willpower of against what the forces that are working against us, the stronger and stronger we get and the better we get at something. So we have to just keep pushing forward, keep trying. I'm going to record and link a guided meditation down below in the comment or in the description below. So if you want to start trying this meditation and you want to start having more of a guided meditation, then go ahead and get a candle and try my guided meditation. Do that for, however long it takes. You could do it for a couple days, a couple weeks, whatever, until you're very comfortable. And when you're comfortable with that, take away the guided meditation part and just sit in a quiet room and see what happens. See if you can go longer than whatever my guided meditation turns out to be, and see if you could sit there without hearing anything and just having stillness. Sometimes it's easier in the beginning to have that voice guiding you through, because then your mind isn't as likely to wander away from what you're doing. So use the guided meditation if you need to in the beginning, and then try it without and see which way you like better. Nobody is the same. So what works for one may not work for others. I'm just here to share with you what works for me as I've been going through this journey. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you give meditation a try and make it part of your daily life. And I hope this candle technique works for you. If you're somebody who has tried meditation in the past and you just struggled with it, I urge you to start to try it with this technique right now, because right now we need to be in alignment with ourselves right now. We need to start healing the old wounds and the old traumas, because we are shifting into a whole new earth, I guess you could say. And so we need to start working on these things and making ourselves a priority in order to be able to ascend here through all of this stuff that is happening today in the world and all these changes we're going through. We need to make ourselves a priority now more than ever. So I thank you, my beautiful friends, for joining me today. And as always, lots of love and light. Namaste.